Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to our live session this morning, our chair yoga, de-desking, and our breathwork too. So aiming to counteract those everyday postural issues that we may have as counselors, psychotherapists, and anyone spending long periods of time sitting down, maybe with clients or working at a desk using devices, and finding that our body is responding in a negative way to how we operate on a day-to-day basis. So maybe having tension in our shoulders and across down our spine and into our lower back. Could be anywhere in our body. In fact, most commonly we hold our tension in the upper part of our body. So session today aiming to go through a sequence using our chair for support where we can experience a yoga session that will help to strengthen, aid flexibility and mobility, and also with the breath work. So combined, creating a toolbox that we can use in our everyday practice to slow ourselves down, to lower our blood pressure, slow down our heart rate, and also keep a little bit physically active as well. So our session today, if you're choosing to follow along with me, just needing a suitable chair. So ideally, not an office chair, something with wheels. So a chair which is really, really stable and will allow you to move your body weight around and go through the sequence without any difficulties. And we will begin our session with our breath work. And with our breath work and with our moving through our sequence of yoga poses this morning, as always, just do what feels right for you. You don't need to follow along if you're feeling any discomfort, especially in the real upper part of our body around the neck and the shoulders. So allow yourself to make your own adjustments, move in a way that feels right for you. If anything doesn't feel quite right, then just back off, maybe take a rest, return to your breath work, and then continue following along if you feel like you wish to. So I'm going to sit back into my chair and we'll begin with our breathing, and then we will start to move our bodies when we have come down into a point of stillness and a point of connectivity with our mind and our body. So, with our breathing, with our breath work, we are aiming to find a place of stillness. We're aiming to allow ourselves the time just to enjoy that stillness and not to be worried or have that feeling, that urgency feeling that we have to return to our busy schedule and we have to uh, continue to move along at the fast pace that we seem to always find ourselves moving along at these days. So, slowing down, noticing our breath, and allowing our breath to slow down our heart. We will use our breath to bring forward our rest and digest, our parasympathetic side of our nervous system, and down regulate away from that frenetic side of our sympathetic nervous system that we always operate in from day to day. So it may take a few minutes as we begin to breathe just to find a way to focus completely internally and just to switch off that external dialogue of emails and to-do lists and meeting schedules. And as we try to bring our focus internally, we also recognize that all those external elements in our life are really important and essential to our work, essential to our day-to-day operation. But in this moment, and just for this hour, we don't need to attend to them. They're important to us, but we don't need to attend to them right now. And we're taking this time for a period of self-care. And when we return to our busy schedule, then we will have more focus, a sense of increased productivity, and also safe in the knowledge that we've taken time out and we've taken care of ourselves this morning. And let's breathe, taking an inhalation and an exhalation, and just noticing where it feels like the breath is sitting in our body. So it may feel like the breath is up high in the chest or by the ribs, or it may feel like we're able to draw the breath all the way down to the tummy area. We can take just a few breaths just to notice how we're breathing and where our breath lands, and encouraging you to breathe through your nose if you're comfortable to do so, and just allow our nose to do its proper work for us in terms of cleaning the air and warming it up, adding a little bit of moisture and really conditioning the air to make it really in prime condition for when it comes down into our lungs. So aiming to breathe through our nose, inhaling, drawing the breath down, and a long, full exhalation. It's sometimes nice to put a hand on the body, maybe on the chest or the tummy, and we get that physical sensation as breathing. Feel the body rise and fall with each breath. And getting that sense of grounding and connectivity, getting a more rich sense of that internal connection with our body. We'll continue to explore, we'll continue to explore where our breath may be sitting within our torso by taking a single breath, which is divided into three parts. And the aim is to be able to draw our breath a little further down into the bottom of the lungs with each part of that breath. So it almost feels like taking sips of breath to complete one long inhalation. So we'll take our first little breath, our first sip, and feel the breath up in the chest area. And then our next sip, the air will come down to our ribs. And then the final part of our inhalation, the third sip, we're getting the sensation that the lungs are full and the tummy area is expanding. So really drawing the breath all the way down. So you can work in your own pace or follow along with me. If the pace that I'm working at doesn't suit you and your breath feels constricted in any way, then just work in your own pattern so you feel comfortable. So we'll breathe our first sip to our chest, second sip to ribs, and third sip all the way down to tummy, and long exhalation. And we go again. Inhale to chest, to ribs, to tummy, and exhale. And again, inhale to chest, to ribs, and to tummy, exhale. We'll do a couple more. As we're exhaling, I'd invite you to think about your shoulders and your neck and to really relax down as you exhale. Allow your neck and your shoulders to soften, become heavy. Allow your fingers and your elbows to draw your shoulders down. And may also soften through your jaw and your tongue and just really enjoy that long exhalation. So we'll inhale again, our three-part breath, our three sips. So inhale to chest, to ribs, to tummy. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. A couple more. Inhale, chest, to ribs, to tummy. Exhale, and soften. And one more. Inhale, chest. Inhale, ribs and tummy. Exhale. We'll take a couple of more normal breaths. Long, full inhale, followed by long, full exhalation. And taking the time now just to return to noticing how we're feeling. Now we're starting to breathe deeply and slowly, noticing how we might be feeling and not making any judgments about how we're feeling, just making a quiet observation. There's no right and no wrong. Just once again, taking the time to have that internal inquiry, which is the essence of our yoga practice. So, our last little bit of breathing before we start to move our bodies into our chair yoga, our asana sequence this morning, is to think about diaphragmatic breathing. So, really drawing the breath as far as we can down to the bottom of the lungs, getting that sensation again that the tummy area is filling up like a balloon. And as we exhale, that balloon deflates, and we have that really long, full exhalation. So, we could maybe put our hands on the tummy area with our fingers just very gently interlocked. And as we inhale and we expand the tummy area, then the fingers may well just drift apart a little bit. And as we exhale, deflate the tummy area, the fingers will come back together again. So we get a really nice physical sensation of how the breath is working in the body as well. So long, full inhalation. Breathe through the nose if you're comfortable. Roll the breath down, fill up the tummy area. Exhale, fingers come back together, deflate the tummy, long, full exhalation. One more inhale, fill up the tummy, exhale. And one more in your own time, inhale. And a normal couple of breaths. And we can start to move. And as we're working through our sequence of movements, once again, just move in a way that feels absolutely right for you. So if anything that I'm doing doesn't feel right, or if there's any discomfort or any pain, then just back off, ease off, take a moment, return to your breathing. And then if you feel as if you want to, you'll follow along again at an appropriate moment. So very simply, let's just begin moving our bodies by rolling our shoulders. So we quite often hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and our neck. And that's also accelerated when we're spending long periods of time in a seated position, working with clients, working at a desk, and our shoulders are often rolled forwards, especially if we're working at a desk and a computer. So we're just going to take time to spend a little bit of TLC, strengthening and working on flexibility and mobility in the shoulder area before we do the same on the rest of the body. So our key areas for this morning will be neck and shoulders, and then also with our pelvic area and especially our hips and the tops of our legs. So flexibility and strength there. So shoulder rolls. We'll continue with breath work as well. So as we inhale, we bring the shoulders up. And exhale, roll shoulders down and back, allowing the shoulder blades to slide down our backs. Inhale, shoulders up. Roll and exhale. Bring the shoulder blades down. So move at a pace which really suits you best. And importantly, to use your breath, that inhalation on the upward movement and the exhale on the downward. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, going down. Really good. We can maybe go the other way. So whichever way you started, reverse the movement of your shoulders. Continue to move with the breath. Continue to move at a pace which feels right for you. All right, exhaling, allowing our shoulders to come back to a neutral position, and then introducing arms. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Really stretch up for the sky. So push the fingers up. Lengthen through the arms. Bring the arms back as far as we can so the biceps are by the ears, and really squeeze up. And exhale. And back down by our sides. And we'll go again, inhaling, arms up. Reaching up. On the exhalation, this time our arms are going to drop down to our cactus position. So the tops of our arms, the bicep area is parallel to the floor, fingers pointing up at the sky. So it immediately feels quite strong in the shoulders, and we're going to draw the hands and the elbows back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open up the chest. And then on an exhalation, we'll bring the hands forwards to a prayer-like position at our heart center. And we'll just take a moment to think about our wrists and our fingers, working on flexibility and mobility. So an area, once again, which is often neglected and only used in certain ways, especially for working on keyboards, maybe writing, working on devices and so on, but restricted movement often, or singular movements through our wrists and fingers, and they don't often get the opportunity to move in a complete and dynamic way that they were designed for. So let's just roll our wrists around. So any way that feels right, roll the wrists backwards and forwards, ironing out any clicks and pops and bringing circulation down into our hands and our fingers. And then we can flash our fingers out. So bringing our hands into a fist and then squeezing the fingers out. Just go as fast or as slow as you feel you want to move. And we'll continue with that finger flashing as we bring our hands down by our sides, palms facing forwards. And we'll take an inhale, keep the fingers flashing, and raise the arms up. The palms facing upwards. Keep the fingers moving as we sweep up with the arms. And again, we'll drop the arms to cactus as we keep the fingers moving. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, keep the fingers moving. And bring the hands back round to the chest area. We'll clasp the fingers together and then push the elbows out and bring the fingers in towards the chest and then push the palms away. So squeeze out through the wrists and through the fingers. We'll inhale, raise the arms up once again and push up. Really lengthen up, squeeze up through the shoulders, really push the palms up to the sky. And on your next exhalation, allow that arms to sink back down. And we'll unravel. Hands on knees. So shoulders are warmed up. Fingers and wrists are warmed up. Let's just return to our neck and our head before we go a little bit further down into our abdomen area. So with our neck and our head, some really gentle neck rolls just to relieve any tension and to remind our neck that it is able to move in quite a wide range of movement. And again, we don't often move our neck in a wide range of movement, often just looking forwards, and increasingly, once again, working with desks and devices, we find ourselves looking downwards quite a lot. So getting some tension across the back of our neck and once again across the shoulders. So really steady as we're moving our neck, especially if you do experience tension, and just use our breath as well and try and soften and keep the shoulders relaxed down. So we'll take an inhale, and on the exhale, we'll just very gently drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. So just go as far as your head will naturally drop and feel that little stretch across the right hand side. So absolutely taking our time, going as slowly as we can. We'll inhale again, and on the next exhalation, really gently roll the head down forwards so the chin comes down to the chest. And we have the head in a front-facing position, but the head's just really heavy, chin down. And as we inhale, we're going to come up on the other side. So really gentle inhalation. Roll the head to the right-hand side so the right ear comes up towards the right shoulder. And we lengthen across the left-hand side of the neck. Allow the head to be heavy. Use our breath, exhale, relax the shoulders. On our next inhalation, really gently and slowly bringing the head up from the shoulder into a neutral position. Really good. And we'll go again, but this time we'll roll around the other way. So going back down to the right-hand side. So inhale and exhale, relax the shoulders. Drop the head sideways so the right ear is on the right shoulder. Stretch across the left-hand side of the neck. Once again, absolutely taking our time. Noticing our breath. Noticing the stretch. And we exhale. Slowly and gently rolling the chin down to the chest. And straightening the head so it's completely facing forwards, but the chin is heavy. Inhaling, rolling the head sideways. So the left ear is on the left shoulder. Exhale, stretch across the right hand side of the neck. Inhale, bring the head back up to neutral position. Exhale, relax the shoulders down, really nice. And let's just take a couple of shoulder rolls again, just to release any further tension. Really good. So moving our attention further down our body, then coming down to our abdominal area, using our abdominal area in a seated position every day. We often find that our spine rolls forwards and we get a lot of tension down here in the lower back. So encouraging you then to sit up tall, to gently engage the abdominal muscles. So we get a sensation that our hip area may be sort of slightly rocking and pushing forwards in the chair, sitting on the very front of our pelvis. And then we also may find that the chest lifts and the shoulders are allowed to come back. So we have a really, really straight spine and sitting up nice and tall. We can then use our abdominal muscles to twist to the side as well. So as we're twisting, we're going to take an inhale beforehand, and on the exhalation, then we're going to draw the shoulders round to each side. So we'll start off on the left. We'll take that breath, inhale. And then on the exhale, draw the shoulders round to the left-hand side. Keep the knees facing forwards. We'll put the right hand on the left knee. The left hand comes down by the left hip onto the side of the chair and really twist through. Gentle on the neck once again. If we're comfortable, we can gaze over the left shoulder. And as we breathe, use the exhale to twist a little further round. And on our next exhalation, we unravel, come round to the front. Inhale again, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, twist the shoulders round to the right. Cross the hands, so the left hand's on the right knee, the right hand's by the side of the chair. Gazing over right shoulder. Breathing. Twisting a little bit more if we're comfortable. And exhale and come back round to the front. We'll inhale again, raise the arms up. Squeeze up to the sky. Exhale, arms to cactus position. Open a chest. And bring the hands around to heart center. Hands down onto the knees now as we take a forward fold. So using our hands and our arms for support, fingers in, elbows pointing outwards. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, just roll forwards. So the tummy and the chest are laying across the tops of the legs. Our head becomes heavy, so the crown of the head's facing the floor, and we're gazing backwards under the chair. Inhaling and coming up. Really good. Another breath. Relax the shoulders again. Fantastic. So as we've gone into forward fold, we can now use our chair to support us, and we can do a seated version of our cat-cow poses that we might ordinarily do on all fours on the mat. So we'll need to use our hands, and in a dynamic way, we'll bring our hands backwards and forwards from our knees to the back of the chair. So we'll begin with the hands forwards, and as we've just done, we'll take a gentle forward fold. So maybe not all the way down this time. So a half forward fold, and we arch the back as much as we can. And then as we inhale, we bring the shoulders back up, push through the hands, slide the hands to the back of the chair. And as we've done with our cactus arms, we push the chest up and draw the shoulder blades together. And coming back forwards, hands slide forwards to the knees. Bring the shoulders down, push the spine up to the ceiling. Inhale, come back up. Slide the hands to the back of the chair. Push the chest up. And one more. Slide the hands forwards. Roll the shoulders down. Push the spine up. Pushing up again. Hands slide backwards. Shoulder blades together. Chest up. And back to a neutral position. Really good. So we're gently working our way down our bodies. Let's focus on hip mobility, hip flexibility by stepping our feet from side to side. So as we're doing so, we will find some activation across the tops of our legs in our quads here. If we're feeling we need a little support with the lift of the leg, then we can always put one hand or two hands under the knee and aid in that mobility. So your choice of how we go forwards with the movement. We may also need to shift our weight to the front of the chair so the pelvis is right to the edge, gives us the opportunity to have a little bit more access to moving our legs around whilst we're seated. So sitting up nice and tall, keeping that squeezing up of the abdominal muscles, keeping the spine long, keeping that slight tilt in the hips, in the pelvis. So we can feel the lower part of our pelvis pushing down into the chair. And we'll work on right leg. So inhaling, lift the foot off the floor. We'll sweep round to the side and then lower down. So as we lift the foot, also really tempting to bring the shoulders forwards. So we're trying to keep the chest up nice and tall, use our abdominals. We can even take a grip of the chair so we can push up as we lift and lower the leg. So we'll inhale, lift the leg again, sweep it around to the front and drop down, and we'll go on the left side. So inhale, left leg up, sweep round to the side, exhale, drop down. So we'll notice how we're using our breath with the movement. Inhaling, lift the foot, sweep round to the front, exhale, drop down, and we'll swap to the other side. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop down, inhale, lift, sweep round, exhale, drop down. Inhale on the left, lift up, sweep round, drop down. Inhale, come round to the front and dropping down. So a couple more on each side. Once again, move in a way that feels right for you. If the pace that I'm working at doesn't suit you, then find your own rhythm. Make sure you use your breath. Make sure we're squeezing in with our abdomen, our abdominal muscles, and use our breath in and out as we lift and lower the feet. Our last one, bringing both feet back to the center. And we'll use that range of movement and start to introduce some twists and some stretches as we're doing so. So, going to begin by stepping both feet out wide. So, really open up the hips, find a nice wide area in front of us, and feel really stable as we're sitting here. So, we're at the front of the chair, so we may need to really push down into our feet to keep ourselves stable and upright. We're going to keep the knees directly above the ankles and the feet firmly down on the floor. So let's return to our side twists using our breath as we draw our shoulders round this time with our knees wider apart and we cross the hands over. We need to stretch across just that little bit further. So intensifying our twist, inhaling, breathe up through the abdominals, exhale, twist round to the left. Really reach across to that widened left knee with the right hand. Left hand on the back of the chair again, gazing over the left shoulder, be comfortable in the neck. And coming back round to the front, and let's go on the other side. So inhale again. Exhale, twist round to the right. Left hand reaches all the way across to that wide right knee. Draw the shoulders round, gaze over the right shoulder. And exhale and come back around to the front. Really good. We'll take a forward fold, this time a wide leg forward fold. The nice space in front of us will allow the shoulders to come down a little bit further. We need to really support our weight by pushing down into the feet as we go. And we have the option of keeping the hands on the knees so we can push up when we come back up, or we can dive the hands down to the floor and get a little bit more of an intense stretch through the bottom of the legs and the real sense of activation through the insides of our legs. So your choice of where you put your hands. We'll inhale, squeeze up, exhale, come down to forward fold. Once again, allow the head to be heavy. One more breath. Inhaling and coming back up to the top. Really good. So using these two elements combined, we're going to side twist and then stretch over to the side. So introducing our arms again, we'll inhale, raise the arms up to a T-like position. So squeezing out through the fingers on either side. We'll then rotate the shoulders around to the left-hand side. until the right hand is parallel with our right knee. Gaze over the right hand fingers. We'll bend in the right elbow and tip forward. So the forearm comes down onto the right knee. We'll concentrate on this left shoulder. So rather than the whole body collapsing down towards the floor, we need to pull up and back. So the left shoulder comes up and back. Everything in line with our widened right knee. Really stretching back, opening up the chest. Our left hand then can be on the hip, on the left hip, or we can draw the hand up and over the head and squeeze out over the right knee as well. So everything on this side plane, using that widened right knee as our marker point, really stretching through. Really nice and coming back down. So the left hand will sweep all the way back. Right arm comes up. We keep our hands in that T position again, and we'll sweep around to the other side. So drawing the shoulders round to the right. Gaze over the left fingers. We'll bend the elbow on the left arm. Forward fold. So the left forearm is down on the left knee. And once again, let's think about shoulders. So let's not collapse the shoulder down. Let's draw this right shoulder up and back. So both shoulders are pointing in the same direction in a parallel with our left knee. Our right arm then can come up and over the head and we squeeze out. So our yoga extended side angle pose, which we would normally do in a standing position, getting the same benefits as the stretch through the top part of our body. Really good. Coming back down. So draw that right arm back. Bring the shoulders up. Extend the left hand. Bring the shoulders back round to the front. We'll inhale, raise the arms up. Nice and strong. Exhale, arms to cactus. And bring the hands back round to heart center. Wonderful. Hands back down onto the knees. We'll take our stretching here one stage further and introduce our seated gate pose. So my left knee is just going to sweep round so it's facing the front, directly at the front of the chair. And my right knee is going to take a further step all the way around to the side of the chair. And then straightening the right leg so it's pointing out to the right hand side. So I'm up on my heel, on my right foot, toes are pointing up to the sky. And we're going to start with having the shoulders facing forwards across the left knee. I'm inhaling, drawing the hands up. And on my exhale, my right hand's going to float down and find my right knee. And I'm going to walk my right fingers down from my knee to my shin, finding that I'm stretching across to the right hand side and really drawing my weight and my left hand over. So I'm stretching across the left hand side of my body. Really good. Coming back up and over. Both hands come up to the sky. Exhale, arms to cactus. And hands to heart center. So now we're going to twist round to the right hand side. So as we've done before, we use our breath. Inhale, squeeze up. On the exhale, bring the shoulders round to the right hand side. So we're looking over our right leg. Bringing the arms back up. Squeeze up to the sky. And on the exhalation, both hands come down to the right knee or right shin and stretching down the leg. Squeeze down. Bring the chin to chest, making the head heavy. And coming back up, walking the fingers back up to the knee. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Draw the shoulders round to the front. Exhale, arms to cactus. And hands to heart center. We'll bend the right knee. Step the foot round to the front. And we'll cross over to the left-hand side. So a little shuffle in the chair, bringing ourselves over to the left-hand side. Our right leg, right knee this time is facing forwards with our shoulders. We're going to step the left leg round and out to the side and then extend the leg straight. So we're up on the heel again, toes pointing upwards. We'll begin with our gate pose, stretching down sideways, and then bring the shoulders round into our pyramid pose after that. But gate pose first of all. Inhaling then. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, left hand drops down to the knee, drawing ourselves over to the left, squeezing out. Coming back up to the top, arms right up. Exhale to cactus. Spin ourselves around to the left-hand side. Arms up one more time. Exhale, reach down. Both hands down onto the left leg. Chin to chest. Walking the fingers down as far as we're able and stretching through. Inhale, bring the shoulders back up. Arms stretching up. Twist the shoulders round to the front, arms drop to cactus. And hands to heart center. We bend the left knee. Pick up the foot, sweep round to the front. And we're back to our neutral position. We'll take a forward fold and options for you here. So we've got our knees together right now, so we could take that simple forward fold and just draw and lay the body across the tops of the legs. Or for that little bit more of an intense stretch through, we can widen the legs again and dive our hands down to the floor and stretch down. So absolutely your choice of which forward fold you want to go for. As always, we inhale and then exhale. Come down into forward fold. Bring the head heavy. And then coming back up to the top. Bringing the shoulders back up. Wonderful. We'll come back to our neutral position. And as we've done a couple of times throughout our sequence, our last bit of movement is just to return to neck and shoulders and thinking about any tension which is being stored there. So we'll just have a few shoulder rolls once again. Really use the breath. Draw the shoulders up. Exhale, roll the shoulders down, move in a way which feels right for you. At this time, really slow down. So whichever speed you felt comfortably moving in before, see if you can halve that speed. Just see if you can halve that speed. So we'll inhale, exhale, inhale. We notice how our body's moving. We notice our breath. We make that quiet observation again. We notice where that tension may be in the top part of our body. Maintaining that gentle squeeze of the abdominals, keeping the spine long. A real purposeful, mindful movement, connecting our movement with our breath. And one more rotation. On an exhale, back to neutral shoulders, neutral spine, knees above our ankles. And we'll return to our breath to take our seated Shavasana to end our session this morning. So our Shavasana gives us the chance to draw some oxygen back into our bodies through our breath, but also using the breath as we did at the beginning of the session to maintain that calmness, that sense of slowing down, that sense of noticing where the breath is falling in our bodies, really utilizing that long exhalation to keep our nervous system in that parasympathetic state. We can close the eyes or soften the gaze, and as we breathe, relax the jaw and the tongue. Allow the hands and the arms to be heavy. With every breath, the shoulders fall a little bit further away from the ears. Breathing down to our abdominal area. Using that diaphragmatic breath that we did at the beginning of the session. Allowing the tummy area to inflate and deflate with every breath. Continuing to breathe our last few moments. And then allowing our breath to come back to its more normal, everyday pattern. And maybe bring in some small movements back to fingers and to feet. Becoming aware of the present time and space. And our time together has once again quickly come to an end. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Laura. Join me in the Zoom call. And thank you to those of you who may be watching on the live stream. Great to be with you once again. And I don't have any more sessions booked for the time being. I'm going to take a little break from the online sessions and work out a new format and maybe a new time. And I'll be back soon enough. So watch this space, as they say, and it'll be great to practice with you again sometime in the near future. So take really good care of yourselves, and thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Lee. The session's been great, as always.
Thank you, Laura. Take good care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.